Industries chairman Mukesh Ambani's younger son Anant got engaged to Radhika Merchant. The couple had a traditional roka ceremony at the Srinathji temple in Nathdwara in Rajasthan in presence of family and friends. The wedding date is not yet known. The couple have been friends for years. In fact, in June this year, Mukesh Ambani and Neeta Ambani had hosted an Arangetram for Radhika, who is a trained Bharatnatyam dancer. We wish the couple all the very, very best. And with that, we call it a wrap on this edition of The Right Stand.
Good evening, everyone. You're watching Brass Tacks. I'm Shivani Gupta. Another day, another face-off over Rahul Gandhi and his Bharat Jodo Yatra. But in this case, did the Congress commit a faux pas by inviting greater scrutiny of the actions of its own biggest face? Because after Congress raised concerns over lack of proper security for the Yatra, alleging that the government is failing to protect Rahul Gandhi for some political reason, the CRPF has put the ball back into their own court. The security force has said that Rahul Gandhi doesn't follow protocols often, while they made all preparations for it. So who's politicizing security? That debate after the story. Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra has landed in yet another controversy. A day after the Congress wrote to Home Minister Amit Shah flagging off alleged security lapses during the Delhi leg of the Yatra, the Central Reserve Police Force rebutted the charges. The CRPF said security arrangements were fully made for Rahul Gandhi as per guidelines. Delhi police informed that sufficient deployment of security personnel was made, but during the Delhi leg of the Bharat Jodo Yatra, the protectee, that is Rahul Gandhi, violated security guidelines. And that since 2020, there have been 133 violations by Rahul Gandhi, which have been observed and duly communicated.
राहुल गांधी प्रोटेक्टी हैं और जो बयान आया है उसमें ये तथ्य सामने आया है कि प्रोटेक्टी को नियमों का प्रोटोकॉल का पालन करना होता है। राहुल गांधी ने स्वयं इस यात्रा में दिल्ली में जो थी इस प्रोटोकॉल का उल्लंघन किया।
The Congress had claimed that the Yatra security had been compromised several times since it entered Delhi on the 24th of December. AICC General Secretary K.C. Venugopal's letter alleged that Delhi police completely failed to control the surging crowds and they didn't maintain a perimeter around Rahul Gandhi, who has Z+ security. He went on to claim that Congress workers and Yatris walking with Rahul Gandhi had to form a security perimeter, while the Delhi police remained mute spectators.
Z कैटेगरी की सिक्योरिटी है राहुल जी को, उसके बावजूद उसका पालन पुलिस द्वारा नहीं किया गया। संवेदनशील इलाकों में जा रहे हैं, पंजाब में जा रहे हैं, जम्मू कश्मीर में जा रहे हैं, तो ये आगाह करना भारत सरकार को और गृह मंत्री को आवश्यक हो जाता है।
Amidst the war of words, the question is, who is to blame for Rahul's security politics? Let's go across to our guests. Joining us, Shehzad Poonawala of the BJP with us. Mahima from the Congress party will be with us very soon. MP Nathaniel is former IG CRPF, Deshratam Nigam, and Amitabh Tiwari, political analyst, also joining us. Let me go across to our expert today. MP Nathaniel is joining us. You must have seen the statement that the CRPF has put out. Once again, the allegation is that Rahul Gandhi doesn't follow the instructions. That was the case when he was an SPG protectee. The government has been on record on that. And that's the same thing the CRPF is once again signaling. Do you believe that under these circumstances, Rahul Gandhi is himself responsible for any breach? Or should the CRPF also clarify why this particular breach happened during his rally?
In fact, I feel that CRPF has been doing its duties very commendably, and in fact, while speaking to some officers in the past, it has often been reported that Mr. Rahul Gandhi has often violated the security protocols, because of which they have problems in securing him. And in addition, the responsibility lies on the individual also, the protectee, to take care himself, because he cannot be at liberty to take his own decisions when he is protected by the CRPF personnel. In fact, during this year, between last year and this year, there have been so many violations. And in the parliament, Mr. Amit Shah, the Home Minister, had said that there were nearly 1700 violations between 2015 and 2019. So such violations should be taken note of, and until they take note of such things, the security will always be at peril, and one needs to pay attention towards this particular aspect, that security can in no wise be compromised.
Okay.
And the CRPF personnel are doing their job commendably, and there have been no complaints from others. In fact, Mr. Rahul Gandhi is not the only one who has been caught violating these protocols. There are several others also. But since he is a very important person and he is one of the top leaders of Congress party, that is the reason why these things keep coming up every now and then.
Okay. Sir, I
So
thank you for
it
your
is
opening
the
comments. I'm
duty
going to
of
come back
the
to you because you've
protective.
set this up for us. And we did speak to a former XPG officer also who said the same thing, that you have to cooperate and your history is of not following protocols. But Shehzad Poonawalla, till I wait for a Congress representative to join us, I want to ask you, because this is what the Congress party says. What's the point of taking out this entire, history sheet of Rahul Gandhi? The simple question was that here a security breach happened. It was even caught on camera. Someone broke his perimeter. Why can't the government force, the CRPF or the MHA, just respond on that? Why are you trying to paint Rahul Gandhi as the bad guy here?
No, there's no attempt to paint anybody as the bad guy, but facts need to be stated as they are. And the fact of the matter is that here you have a personality that has made a claim when a green light flashed on his forehead that he was going to be assassinated. It turned out to be an AICC photographer. Here you have a party which tries to use, and I understand Bharat Jodo is not turning out like a vote Jodo, so they want a sympathy Jodo. They want a COVID niyam todo, they want a security niyam todo, and then they want a conspiracy se surkhiyan jodo. Now this kind of thing can be done, but it can't be done at the expense of the security agencies. Look, here is a man whose 113 violations are there from 2020 onwards. When he had the SPG, 156 times that he went out of the country, 143 times he dumped his security here and he left. And at that time he did not feel unsafe in foreign lands, but in lands closer home and the national capital, surrounded by his own yatris, when he has CRPF giving him proximate security, he feels unsafe. Now let us analyze what exactly happened. The fact of the matter is that there was an ASL meeting that took place. It had all the stakeholders there. On 22nd December, they had all the checks done and everything was on board. If the CRPF would have felt, and this is the security that is given to the CDS of the country, to the Home Minister of the country, to UP Chief Minister. This is not a security that is political, it is very professional. Now, if they would have felt at that point of time that there was any bit of threat, they would have asked the protectee that let's move you to a safer location. They didn't. So ultimately, if you are blaming the entire paraphernalia, you're laying the blame at the CRPF's doorstep. And the reason why I bring this up is because there's a history and a pattern of abusing our security forces, whether it's the Pitai statement, whether it's doubting surgical strikes, Balakot strikes, or whether it is calling the army chief Sadak Ka Gunda, or doubting the bravery of Mohan Chand Sharma from the Delhi police, where Sonia Gandhi was crying copiously for the Batla House encounter.
All they're saying is that there was a security lapse. That lapse could have been responded to. Let me bring in Mahima, who's joining us from the Congress party now. Mahima, once again, the question that is being raised, and we've spoken to people who have served in the CRPF, we've spoken to people who've been protectees of SPG protectees in the past, and everybody is saying that, it's not right for you to keep maligning these forces that protect you when you yourself don't follow protocols, and Rahul Gandhi is a history sheeter in that.
Good evening. Shivani, I have been traveling with the Yatra. We have come all the way along from Kanyakumari to Delhi. And what has happened here not happened in any other state? It has, and nowhere. If that was the case, that would have happened in any other state also. Why has it happened specifically in Delhi? It has happened specifically in Delhi because the Bharatiya Janata Party has been absolutely, initially they have tried whatever they could to actually malign. We are not maligning CRPF or any security forces. It is the Bharatiya Janata Party that wants a Congress-free Bharat. That's something everybody knows about. And so if they could not fight this initiative of the Congress party, if they could not, mock at this initiative of the Congress party, finally they have come to this.
No, but what
There
are you
were-
alleging? Mahima, you are going even one step to what KC Venugopal has alleged so far. You are now insinuating that this has been done deliberately to put Rahul Gandhi's safety in jeopardy?
I don't.
Is this an official statement of the
I'm
Congress?
I'm not insinuating anything. I'm not insinuating anything. Rather, I am just saying that, why has it happened specifically in Delhi?
So
Why
your
have
allegation is it has happened in Delhi because Delhi police comes under the MHA, so there is some political reason behind it, right?
I am just saying what has happened. I'm just speaking aloud. What goes on in the mind of an average Bharat Yatri, an average citizen who's watching this entire scenario. There were intrusions on the campsite, in the containers. We held a press conference yesterday about it. So I'm just wondering, as a common Indian, as a common Bharat Yatri, that what is this all about? Because across
Are you
the-
alleging, no, let's be clear, Mahima, are you alleging that the CRPF under political duress or whatever did not do its job? Please be clear about it. Are you alleging that the Delhi police did not do its job deliberately?
It was not CRPF that was intruding in the containers on the campsite. It was not CRPF. We are not alleging anything like
But
that.
this breach is
Our
under CRPF.
secretary-
No, let's stick to this
our
breach
secretary
first.
of-
I'll come to the container IB theory later. One second. No, Mahima, this is very serious. This breach that you have highlighted and the footage of which has been released by the Congress party, this is under CRPF protection. I spoke to a high-profile protectee earlier. He said Delhi police will be external protection. This perimeter is CRPF perimeter. Are you saying they deliberately allowed the perimeter to be breached?
Shivani, I am not the person who's answerable here. It is the Bharatiya Janata Party. It's the government that was meant to ensure that the security is
I
impeccable.
was asking the BJP and even a former CRPF head this question, but you've shocked me by suggesting that there is almost a political conspiracy to put Rahul Gandhi's life in danger.
I'm just saying, see, as I said earlier, as a Congress worker, as a Bharat Jodo Yatri also, I feel that what should have been done has not been done sufficiently. What could have been done also by the government, and what shouldn't have been done, they've been doing it all along. I am just saying that everybody is wondering about this right now. We have written a letter to the ministry. KC Venugopalji has written the letter to the ministry. Let them come clean on that. I'm just saying that, you see, these are the questions that arise in the mind.
What
I'm not
about the
suggesting-
question? Okay, I'll bring in Shehzad
Let me
and then I'll
just
come back
in,
to you. Yes.
These
Sit
are
down.
not, if I may, these are not issues that we discuss upon based on feelings of yatris. These are discussed upon protocols, the standard operating procedure and on facts. Let's get that very clear. You have insinuated that the Bharatiya Janata Party wanted to eliminate Rahul Gandhi using the Delhi police and the CRPF. You can have that allegation against us, and frankly, take it from me, we want Rahul Gandhi to live a very long life. He's an asset certainly for us. But on a more serious note, there is no way on earth that a professional force like the CRPF or the Delhi police, both of whom swear allegiance not to any political party but to the law and order of this country and to the constitution, would do anything at anybody's behest. To make that kind of insinuation at people who have spent their lives, who are willing to take a bullet for you and to save you, is absolutely disgusting. I don't know if these remarks are actually going to be endorsed by her party, but for her to say that we would partake in assassinating or eliminating Rahul Gandhi using the Delhi police is absolutely the most shocking statement I have heard. And Shivani, I can't believe that the Congress party would endorse this kind of ridiculous and irresponsible commentary. At the Delhi police,
Mahima,
they are
This
at the
is-
end of the day a police that
Exactly
serves
what
us.
this
No, Mahima,
spokesperson-
you referred to Congress
No,
Mukt
Shivani, I
Bharat
will
aim
not
of the
go to-
BJP, and then you referred to what happened, and you are saying these things are happening only in the national capital. I think that's a very grave charge.
I will, Shivani, I will not allow you or the spokesperson sitting on the panel to misrepresent me. Please do not. Please refrain from such whataboutery. I will
What about
specifically
I'm
say-
asking you about your
You-
statement, not somebody
what I-
else's
what I-
statement.
No, I mean, what the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson has said right now, I haven't said, even a single word out
You
of that.
alluded to that.
I'm raising queries which are there. And why does he say that it is not about the feeling of a Bharat Yatri? Of course, It is about if we felt threatened or insecure, it is about the feelings of the Bharat Yatri or Bharat Yatri also. And apart from
You
that,
felt
so
threatened with
if
a camera light on your forehead.
One by one.
We can't deal with how you feel threatened. This is about the CRPF and the Delhi police. This is not about the Yatri feeling insecure because there's a camera light focusing on his head and he feels that there's somebody who's trying to snipe him.
One by one.
This can't be the level of the debate, Mahima.
Let her respond. Let her respond.
Allow me to complete my thought. If we speak in the context that you all are speaking in, then in that case, when the Prime Minister, raised issues about his security breach in Punjab, then in that case also, it wasn't the government of Punjab, it was rather the authorities that were to be blamed. Was the Prime Minister blaming those authorities?
Which authorities? The police comes under the state.
No, which authorities look after the Prime Minister's security?
The Supreme Court panel has held the Firozpur SSP responsible. I hope you read a little more before coming to debates. It has been a failure on the part of the DGP in implementation of the protocols that are in place for the Prime Minister's security 20 kilometers away from a Pakistan border. That situation being compared to this is wholly unequitable. But having said that, you will make that comparison.
No, I wish the Congress had not brought that in, because actually in that episode, the Congress downplayed the security square of the Prime Minister, and actually it didn't reflect very well on the Congress party then. And also it was made amply clear by the SPG at that time when they traveled to a state. It is the state police's job to protect the Prime Minister and his route. It is not the SPG's job. The SPG's close proximity protection. But anyways, these are not cases I want to compare. Let's go across to some of our other guests who have not spoken. Amitabh Tiwari, given what everybody has said, given what the experts are saying, is the Congress party guilty of politicizing this security cover? It has happened in the past when, for example, there was a stone pelting incident on Rahul Gandhi's vehicle. Later it came to light that Rahul Gandhi didn't use the bulletproof vehicle that he should have been using. Now, if you don't cooperate, then you're also to be held responsible for your security. I'm not saying that happened in this case. But is the Congress guilty of trying to politicize what happened? They could have quietly raised it with the CRPF, asked them what happened, asked them for greater enforcement if they felt that was the need. This whole letter seems to be a retort to possibly the health minister's letter.
See, I mean, political parties would do politics, and what else can you expect? And it is applicable for both the Congress and the BJP. See, it is the responsibility of the security agencies to provide security to a VIP. So there's no politics involved here. The Yatra has gone through many states, including BJP ruled states. Yes. So there was no issues there. Congress party might have felt that there was some security lacks in Delhi, and they have reported the matter, but they should not have perhaps leaked a very sensitive issue to the media. They should have kept it to themselves, as they are saying. However, to also say that it is being done deliberately is also fairly childish. See, I work with politicians and leaders. What happens is that leaders get their energy from the people. So many times, as the first panelist also said, it's not only Rahul Gandhi. Many SPG and CRPF protectees, they do tend to break the security protocols when they try to mingle with the people. However, that's fairly risky. At the same time, if there has been so many violations of the security breach protocol, the CRPF should sit with the team of Rahul Gandhi and try to explain to him the gravity of the situation. Because if, God forbid, tomorrow anything untoward happens, then the fact that the VIP has been violating the security protocol would also not cut ice with the people, because it is ultimately the responsibility of the CRPF. So it's a sensitive matter which needs to be dealt with maturity from both sides. We've had some of our ex-prime ministers fall into terrorist activities, and these matters should not be politicized, I think.
Deshratam Nigam, the one pointed question the Congress has also been pointing out is that fair enough, you've now given this whole list, Rahul Gandhi doesn't adhere to protocol, all fair and well, but does that answer the question of what happened here? Answer the question of why this perimeter was breached, no? CRPF could have answered that. The MHA could have answered that.
See, this should be a matter of inquiry, and the truth must be unearthed. However, any security arrangements can only be successful when the protectee supports it and coordinates with the security agencies. But when you have a history, the entire history of such violations, then an element of doubt certainly creeps in whether it was a genuine security breach or there was something else. Now, let us be very clear. Congress seems to be seeing fictional conspiracy in almost everything. This I certainly consider this aimless wandering by an aimless leader. When they are asked to follow COVID protocol, they say it's a conspiracy to stop the yatra. So you got to understand the politicization. This need not be politicized. As somebody rightly pointed out, we have lost two prime ministers. So it has to be quietly dealt with and dealt with at the highest level if there has been a genuine security breach. And secondly, you are trying to criticize the security agencies, the very agencies that they are providing security to you. So this might also demoralize them. So let us not put that in public domain. If you have certain issues, the leaders, can sit with the security agencies or the
Could have
Home Ministry
sorted this out
officials
at a more
and can
personal level.
sort it out.
I must also add here, the
Yes.
CRPF wouldn't have been forced to come out and make this statement had this matter not been made public. So, Mahima, I come back to you.
Yes,
Could the
sir.
Congress party have handled this a little bit better, given the gravity of the situation that you yourself suggest his life, the Rahul Gandhi's life was in danger?
It is only natural that only the Congress party could have done something better and not the government. When we have raised the issue, it is only a list of the Congress's breaches that the BJP will bring about. We are not surprised, and it is much anticipated everywhere. And the debates will only be held about what Congress could have done better and not what the government should have done
No,
better.
I asked the question twice of whether the CRPF should have pinpointedly answered the question of this breach. I asked it twice.
Let me come to your answer. Come to answer your question. And Mr. Nigam was speaking right before me, and he mentioned the assassination of the two prime ministers that incidentally happened to be the grandmother, and the father of Rahul Gandhi ji is the aimless wanderer, the aimless leader that he's pointing out to. Let me say, so I'm also reminded of the time, a couple of years back when the prime minister actually. Now, if I call it a breach of security, I'll again be called anti-national because it was on the occasion of Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji's crematory procession, and he came out and he just walked. He
Yes.
breached security in Ranip in Gujarat just a couple of weeks ago. So let me not bring all of that up here. Because again, it is the Congress party that needs to be targeted.
But
Only
the
Congress
PM
party,
didn't
even though-
accuse someone of not providing him security, na? That's the difference. Like our panelists said, lots of leaders do break the security protocol, but you don't then blame the security forces who are protecting you for your security. Look
The
at what
Prime
happened in
Minister-
Gujarat. I gave you that example. That stone pelting
The
incident
Prime
happened.
Minister-
Actually, a security force member got hit in that, no? Rahul Gandhi didn't
The
get hit,
Prime-
but he didn't use the
I am-
bulletproof vehicle.
The Prime Minister breaches the security protocol every now and then, but when he'll visit a Congress-ruled state, there'll be an issue about it. If there's a security breach in the yatra, it is the Congress that is to be blamed. Okay, we take it. All right.
No,
mean,
I
if
didn't
that's
say
what-
that you are to be blamed. I don't know why this victim mentality has seeped into the Congress party so much. I am
Not
just
at all.
saying that you could have
Evidence.
possibly handled it in a manner where you raised it with the CRPF instead of making a public issue about it, because we've got the former IG of the CRPF saying that the CRPF is doing its job. Look at
I
what you
just
put them in a position for.
I just cited two incidents.
Okay,
which
let Shehzad
immediately-
respond to those.
Let me come in with two very specific interventions. Okay, forget the fact that somebody wants to put their photo up above protocol and, perhaps conspiracy theories above common sense. I have two specific questions for Mahima. If you are genuinely concerned about the well-being and security of Rahul Gandhi, so am I. He's an opposition leader. He should live a safe and healthy life. I have two questions to ask you. You, on the one hand, say that Bharat Jodo is open to everybody. Then make your event an only invitee event and help the ASL team, help the security forces team to then provide better security, because then they will be able to identify who's coming close to him. Secondly, please tell me that do you trust the CRPF? The CRPF provides a proximate security. If they feel that there is a problem with his outer ring security, they will immediately advise him to move away to a secure zone. So either you are saying that I don't trust the CRPF, or maybe CRPF did give Rahul Gandhi that advice and he then betrayed them and didn't follow that advice. So which of the two is it?
Okay.
Why don't you answer that question
Let
first?
her respond, then I have to go to MP Nathaniel.
See, I absolutely am always left amused at the BJP's selective, myopic view of things. I have just pointed out to two of the major security breaches of the prime ministers I can remember immediately, and the BJP will not have anything to say about that.
We
And
didn't
they will
blame
not
the security agencies and paraphernalia. Didn't you
issue
understand that Shivani said it? I could have repeated it for you.
Okay, let her finish now. Let her
and
finish.
the breach, and then he cries foul, and the whole BJP cries foul about the security breaches in those states where the Congress is there. Of course, everybody knows I pointed out in the beginning of the show why. But now he's asking this question. I am just saying that if a letter has been written, if our General Secretary of the party, Mr. Venugopal, has come
So
up
do you
with
trust the
Let her
CRPF?
finish. Let her finish.
he
My
has
question is
raised
specific.
certain concerns. I do not understand why does the BJP only have to point back at the Congress? I mean, they only want to point out to the fact that we doubt the security forces agencies. They want to point out at a list of why can't they just assure. I've been on a couple of debates where in the past couple of days after this letter came out, where BJP spokespersons actually came out and said that हम आश्वस्त करते हैं अगर ऐसा कुछ हुआ है तो उसके लिए हम लोग जिम्मेदारी लेंगे और आगे ऐसा कुछ नहीं हो।
बट आज
If
का
you
जो
want,
बयान आया है वो बीजेपी की तरफ से नहीं आया ना महिमा, वो सीआरपीएफ की तरफ से आया है. So this is not a political party that responded to what was said about their security arrangements. But anyways, I have a final minute. I'll go to MP Nathalia. Sir, is it fair to say that this demoralizes the CRPF and the people who are protecting such high-profile protectees? Or is that also going overboard? And finally, do you feel that the CRPF is being dragged into politics when all of this comes out into the open?
In fact, CRPF is quite immune to being dragged into politics or anything. And the men who are deputed for VIPs, they are mostly the ones who have been selected after their tenure in SPG and NSG. So they know what they are exactly doing. And in case there are specific instances of any lapse, then the matter can be taken up with the CRPF authorities, and I am sure they'll inquire into it and get back.
Okay.
But to generally say that there has been a security lapse, that doesn't serve the purpose. You have to pinpoint exactly as to where the lapse has taken place so that the matter could be inquired into. Otherwise, the CRPF men, they keep informing the protectees, not directly but through the channels that are there,
Okay.
as to when they have breached the security protocol, so that they do not repeat it again.
All right.
But if it is repeated again and again, the CRPF personnel are left with no choice but to just inform the higher authorities about the breach of protocol.
Yeah, and possibly
every now and
breaches,
then.
such repeated breaches are also something that can be avoidable. I do thank all of our guests for joining us for our
Yes,
first debate. Moving on to the second big story that we're tracking. After being in news for its racy song Besharam Rang, where Deepika Padukone sports an orange bikini, Shah Rukh Khan's star Pathaan has now met resistance by the CBFC over its certification. The board has asked the movie to make some changes and cuts, including to 2 songs reportedly, while we can't confirm if the controversial Besharam song is also one of them. This after MP Minister Narottam Mishra and the VHP raised objections over it. The board chief, Prasoon Joshi, has said that the CBFC is always committed to finding the right balance between creative expression and sensibility of the audience.
निर्णय सराहनीय है। रियल लाइफ पर भी असर डालती है। इस बात का निर्माताओं को, निर्देशकों को और कलाकारों को सभी को इन चीजों का ध्यान रखना चाहिए।
Waiting for a few guests to join us, but I'll go across to Sanjeev Unyal, who's an advocate and political analyst joining us on the show. The CBFC has made it quite clear that, they are going to put a few restrictions or a few cuts and changes that have been asked for as far as this film is concerned. But what Prasoon Joshi has said is very interesting. He is saying the culture and faith of our country is glorious. should not be defined by trivia. Creators must protect the trust with their audience. Do you think this is the right message that the CBFC is sending to filmmakers?
I think if censor board is there, it is there to censor certain things which are not to be screened. So I think he's at the right juncture because movie has already been not released yet. So they have ample power as far as statutory provision is concerned. So the sentiments, I think, for me, it could not be because I could be a broad-minded person, but my brother, in a family, there are different people. If a family is called a religious family, although out of 7, only 5 goes to the mandir and 2 don't, but called as religious family. So I think if sentiments of a country, sentiments of an ethnic group, sentiments of a majoritarian society hurts, then one has to take care because a crore of people who are your bread and butter have been hurted by skin, by the Rupehla Parda. So I think Sarvdham Sambhav is I think the majoritarian society should also be considered that they are part and parcel.
The question though then arises is that if a few people, raise their voice and start objecting to something, will a board, whether it's the censor board or some other statutory authority, regulatory body, then bow down? That is the fear that some are raising after what has happened, because it seems to be a response of what has played out in public.
You're right. But I think that because hurting or sentimental, emotional hurt is something which is not tangible. You cannot touch that. Since you have said this, so see my wound. I cannot see, one cannot show his wound or her wound because that's an emotional sentiments is an intangible thing. It cannot be seen. So if someone is saying we have been hurted, out of 110 crores of people, it's a vegetarian society, Hindu society. And the saffron itself, if we go into the issue, saffron itself depicts sunrises and Swami Vivekanand, Swami Shraddhanand. So a lot of, I think, faith is in the Hindu dharma for the saffron. So one should be very careful about it.
So sensibilities must be protected. Shehzad Khan, actor, is also joining us. I thank you for your time. There is going to be some cuts, some changes that have been asked for, including 2 songs. We don't know whether this song that was under scrutiny is one of them. Do you believe that this is the right call by the board? Anyways, any film goes through this. But in this case, the message that has come from the CBFC chief also is that there has to be a balance between your freedom and faith. Because this is a country that is religious. A lot of people's emotions are linked to certain things. So therefore, there should be a environment of trust in what you should show. It's not always a question about what you can show.
Thank you very much for having me on your debate.
Yeah.
This is Mr. Prasun Joshi who is doing this, who's suggested this kind of suggestion. I would like, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, I would like you to let's go talk about Delhi 6. There was a film called Delhi 6 in which Abhishek Bachchan and was the hero. There was a scene in which in that film in which Ram and Sita are touching a leg of a local corporator or an MLA, something of that sort. That film was written by Mr. Prasun Joshi. Why wasn't, I think that should also get, censored again.
Sir, sorry, I didn't understand.
So,
what part of the movie did you object to?
There was a scene in that film, Delhi 6, what I can read, Masak Ali song, which was from that film.
Yes.
In that, they showed that God and a goddess touching a local MLA's feet and all that.
Okay.
So, now if he wants to do this, it is actually killing the creativity, first and foremost. At least in the song, which is Besharam Rang. It is rang of a human being, not of the colors what she's wearing. आदमी में हया भी होती है, शर्म भी होती है, वफादारी भी होती है, बेवफाई भी होती है. It is बेशरम rang of a person. Why are you seeing the colors of the thing
No,
on
I think it's
what
not
she's
just the
worn in
color.
it.
Shahzadji, let's be fair.
Ji-
I don't think it's just the color. I think it's also the way the show is pictured. The song is picturized. It is quite racy, what's happening in that song.
See, look, we are
So
living
it's
in
a totality, right?
2022. We are living in 2022,
Yes.
and everything is advanced. We have
I'm
direct
sorry,
competition
but
with Hollywood.
I'm sorry. I object to this, especially as a woman. Not wearing too many clothes
Okay.
is not advanced. Please, let's not
See,
draw
see,
those
no,
binaries.
okay, let
This
me
has
tell you
nothing to
one
do
thing,
with
one more.
progressiveness. This has nothing to do with being advanced.
See, see, it's so sad. But you go on this YouTube or these reels.
Yeah.
There are girls who are not wearing clothes at all.
Yeah, so I
They're
don't think
covering
that's
his cups and
endorsable.
saucers.
Shehzadji, just
that
because
is also,
somebody does that on their private Instagram
No,
handle doesn't
but,
mean that the movies should also have that. I'm sorry, that's not a
but
justification
there
for
is nothing.
vulgarity.
I don't see any vulgarity in this song. Yeah, I don't see any vulgarity in the song. There's so many songs which have been shot in swimsuits and bikinis and all that before. Why
Yeah, I
only
don't think
this
bikini
song?
itself is the problem, but in
Because
any
it
case,
is.
there is a man groping a woman in this song. I'm sorry to say, for several
So
people,
there's so many
this is
songs
going to be a
in
problem.
romantic.
And you are right.
What
It has
is the
been done
problem?
earlier. It should be a problem in that case also, but the scrutiny has come on this song. It has come on this movie. I've
Yeah,
got
that
Mamta
clearly
Kale.
shows.
So one second,
Yeah.
I'll come back to you. Mamta Kale is a member, ex-member of the CBFC. A lot of people would want to understand today that is this a routine process where, let's say, the sensibilities of the audiences is kept into mind when movies are censored or certified? Or is this something that is being done specifically for Pathaan because of the objections that have been raised? I'm sure you must have seen the statement that Prasoon Joshi has made.
Yeah. So good evening, Shivani.
Yeah.
I just, being a former member of CBFC, first of all, I want to make this very clear that CBFC has taken this decision within their, within the rules and regulations which they follow. Now, CBFC has advised the makers of the film to make certain changes in the film and in the song, that Besharam Rang, and then requested them to resubmit the revised version, and they can do that. What they have done, they can do it. Now,
What if they don't do it? Then what happens?
They can probably, if they don't do it, they can go to the court. Because now if CBFC has told them to revise it and then submit the revised version of the film Pathaan, they will have to do it. And then accordingly, they'll get the certification
again. Can it not be that they keep what is there, whatever the board has found to be problematic, but the rating of the movie changes? Is that not what should happen?
See, I will tell you, this movie has already, this movie and the song, as you correctly said, the content of the song and the way it has been picturized has created a buzz in social media, and rightly so. So now only advice which has been made by the CBFC to make certain changes. They are not asking to remove the song. They're saying make some
Mr.
changes.
Prasoon Joshi.
No, so they're saying that they make some changes. What is wrong in it?
No, I want to understand from you, Mamta Kale, what is the procedure here? Let's say the movie makers tomorrow feel that no, we want to keep this content. What is the option available before the filmmakers and the board? I'm guessing the only option is to just give it an A rating. Give it a rating that then, is for the movie becomes certifiable for a certain age group. But obviously, filmmakers don't want that because they want the largest section of the public possibly to be able to watch. I'm trying to understand from you. Am I right?
See, so Shivani, in that case, obviously the UA certification will change. It can be A, and obviously it'll go to A. But as far as Abhi, what I am understanding and what I have seen and what I have done is during my tenure, they will have to look into this request made by CBFC. They will have to look into the request made by
Mamta,
the CBFC.
what about the fact that some people are alleging that this is, this is coming from a sense of restrictions which shouldn't ideally be placed on movies? That there is some sort of a faith being mixed. Now, that's a very broad brush. That's going to land the CBFC in trouble because they're going to be expected to do this every time. They don't do it every time. They react.
No, it is movie specific. It is, you know, case to case. Okay. They will obviously not be doing it with every movie. But if CBFC feels that a movie can create a law and order situation once it is released, it is hurting the sentiments of larger audience, then they will have to look into this.
No, I feel there should be no excuse of law and order. That though should not be an excuse, because that excuse has been used for too long. But Shehzad Khan, the reality also is that there are a lot of songs, lyrics in songs and movies, even titles that have been changed, and very quietly at the insistence of the Muslim community in India. Nobody bats an eyelid. Nobody wants to even get into it. But why is it that when the emotions are of the Hindu community, whether you agree with it or not, they are considered frivolous?
How was I would like to know one thing from you, ma'am. How was Kashmir Files passed? How was it? There was a lot of objectionable scenes in that, but still it got censored.
No, sir.
And it was clear.
Sir, you don't
Kashmir
know.
Files, because Mr. Vivek Agnihotri is there on the censor board, so partiality. That was
no, everybody else was partial to it.
Can I correct it?
One second, Mamta, one second. Let me hear what he's saying. Let me hear what he's saying. You are saying Kashmir Files should not have been passed. Why? What did you find objectionable?
There should have been more censoring. There should have been more censoring. And that I realized when Mr. Napad Lepid, the Israeli director, in the festival, when he said that it's a vulgar movie and it's promoting propaganda. This is that time the whole world.
So let me get this straight. 1 second. So you are saying 1 second. Let me get this straight. You are saying we should go by Mr. Lapad's view on an Indian film, but we should not listen to what Indian public is saying on an Indian film.
No, there is partiality. I feel now.
You're saying there is partiality. Okay, Mamta Kale, please respond.
Because he's on the board.
First of all,
Onyalji, I'm coming to you after this. Yes, Mamta Kale.
First of all, the Kashmir Files was not a controversial movie. It is a fact-based movie, sir. Please make your it is a fact-based movie. I'm sure you've got nothing to do with Kashmiri Hindus who were butchered so brutally in independent India, sir. And you don't want India to see the truth. That's your problem. Point number 1. Point number 2, a Videshi Firangi is nobody to come into my land and tell us what is vulgar and what is, objectionable as far as our cinema is concerned. Number 2. Number 3, sir. Number 3, the Kashmir Files was given a certificate with seven cuts. With 7 cuts, sir. Do you know that? 7 cuts.
Yeah, I know that.
Then what is the partiality?
So please have, where is the partiality? What partiality are you talking about?
See,
you don't have your facts. You don't have your facts.
I have my facts in right. I have my facts in place.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay, let him respond. Let him respond.
I think she wants to talk. Let her talk.
No, boliye, Shehzad ji, boliye.
As it is, she degrades films on her YouTube channel. Let her do it to her best esteem. Let her say what she wants. It's her. That's what I felt. I said what I felt.
But sir, Kashmir Files. No, sir. ऐसा नहीं है ना कि आपको लगा आपने बोल दिया. आप नेशनल चैनल पे बोल रहे हैं. आपने बोला पार्शियलिटी हुई कश्मीर फाइल्स के लिए. उन्होंने बता दिया कि कश्मीर फाइल्स में 7 कट हुए थे, ए सर्टिफिकेट मिला था. तो क्या पार्शियलिटी हुई?
बाकी सीन्स
सेंसर बोर्ड ने क्लियर करे ना ए सर्टिफिकेट के साथ.
हाँ, ए सर्टिफिकेट चलिए ठीक है, क्योंकि अब वो विवेक अग्निहोत्री साहब सेंसर बोर्ड पे है, तो उनकी काफी चीजें नजरअंदाज की गई है. और ये गाने की चीजें, एक गाने में लोगों को ऑब्जेक्शन,
तो ए सर्टिफिकेट लेके रिलीज कर लो ना मूवी. क्या दिक्कत है
जी?
मैं कह रही हूँ ए सर्टिफिकेट लेके रिलीज कर लो मूवी. क्या दिक्कत है?
रिलीज तो होगी ना, पठान तो रिलीज होगी.
Nobody is saying it should not be released. Yes, Mr. Unyal, you wanted to come in. See, the larger question I'm trying to understand is it wrong for a regulatory body to respond to the public's message? Or then what will be the benchmark of when they respond, when they ignore? And the question I asked Mr. Shehzad, he didn't answer. There are several...
I would like to answer that there's a difference between public response and hate mongers.
Okay.
कुछ लोग, कुछ hate mongers हैं जो अपने स्वार्थ के लिए या जो भी है, उनके रिस्पांस को अगर हम पब्लिक रिस्पांस समझेंगे तो ये हमारी कमअक्ली है.
Okay, fair enough. But the question I asked you, you didn't answer. There are several times that a lyric of a movie, song The song itself, the
Yeah, it
title
is
of the
changed.
movie,
Okay.
the name of the movie has been changed
Yeah, but
because
it is
of
all done
objections
under
from the
pressure.
Let me
Muslim
answer,
community
Shivani.
when it was not even that derogatory or blasphemous. तब कोई क्यों नहीं बोलता कि आप मत सुनिए infringe elements की? तब भी तो पूरी जनता नहीं बोलती ना? Let Mr. Unyal come in.
Shivani, first of all, the thing should be in the right perspective. We are attacking personally to so many people who could be or one of the competitors. Anyway, what I'll make it clear to your audience, to your viewers, is exactly that what is the role of censor board? Why censor board has been governed? Why it has been constituted? Because this is the board, which is the umbrella, which is the watchdog to look into what is going on in the films and whether certain films, certain pictures, certain songs, or certain dresses should be abrogated or should be cutted from the film, because it could censor, it could hurt the feelings of crores of Indians, crores of viewers. That was the only intention. Now, when someone is coming by knocking the doors of the censor board to look into what is going on, which color, which is very religious, which is very fundamental, and which is a lot of Hindus have big faith in that particular color. It's hurting the feelings. Moreover, what is going on in the film is also a big question mark. So
No, actually we don't know what cuts have been asked for. We are assuming that the Besharam Rang is one of the songs that would have had some changes in it. We don't know for sure, frankly. We'll wait to see what exactly happens. But it also reminds me of this ad recently that had been released. It had been released, clearly went through the processes, and then when it came out, many people objected to it as being sexist and misogynistic. That ad was then pulled off. So you cannot say that once something has been cleared or once something has got the certificate, you can't relook at it. Of course you can. The board is not some God-given authority. They are human beings. They will have to answer to the public. I'll leave it at that. I thank all of our guests for joining us. A quick update before we head into a break. Reliance Industries chairman Mukesh Ambani's younger son Anant got engaged to Radhika Merchant. The couple had a traditional roka ceremony at Srinathji temple in Nathwara in Rajasthan in the presence of family and friends. The wedding date is not known as of now. The couple has been friends for years. In fact, in June this year, Mukesh and Nita Ambani had hosted an Arangetram for Radhika, who's also a trained Bharatnatyam dancer. On the other side of a short break, we bring you our exclusive as we unearth a mega medical scam in the state of Bihar. Shehzad Poonawalla, till I wait for a Congress representative to join us, I want to ask you, because this is what the Congress party says. What's the point of taking out this entire history sheet of Rahul Gandhi? The simple question was that here a security breach happened. It was even caught on camera. Someone broke his perimeter. Why can't the government force, the CRPF or the MHA, just respond on that? Why are you trying to paint Rahul Gandhi as the bad guy here?
No, there's no attempt to paint anybody as the bad guy, but facts need to be stated as they are. And the fact of the matter is that here you have a personality that has made a claim when a green light flashed on his forehead that he was going to be assassinated. It turned out to be an AICC photographer. Here you have a party which tries to use, and I understand Bharat Jodo is not turning out like a vote Jodo, so they want a sympathy Jodo. They want a COVID niyam todo, they want a security niyam todo, and then they want a conspiracy se surkhiyan jodo. Now this kind of thing can be done, but it can't be done at the expense of the security agencies. Look, here is a man whose 113 violations are there from 2020 onwards. When he had the SPG, 156 times that he went out of the country, 143 times he dumped his security here and he left. And at that time he did not feel unsafe in foreign lands, but in lands closer home and the national capital, surrounded by his own yatris, when he has CRPF giving him proximate security, he feels unsafe. Now let us analyze what exactly happened. The fact of the matter is that there was an ASL meeting that took place. It had all the stakeholders there. On 22nd December, they had all the checks done and everything was on board. If the CRPF would have felt, and this is the security that is given to the CDS of the country, to the Home Minister of the country, to UP Chief Minister. This is not a security that is political, it is very professional. Now, if they would have felt at that point of time that there was any bit of threat, they would have asked the protectee that let's move you to a safer location. They didn't. So ultimately, if you are blaming the entire paraphernalia, you are laying the blame at the CRPF's doorstep. And the reason why I bring this up is because there is a history and a pattern of abusing our security forces, whether it's the Pitai statement, whether it's doubting surgical strikes, Balakot strikes, or whether it is calling the army chief Sadak Ka Gunda, or doubting the bravery of Mohan Chand Sharma from the Delhi police, where Sonia Gandhi was crying copiously for the Batla House encounter.
All they're saying is that there was a security lapse. That lapse could have been responded to. Let me bring in Mahima, who's joining us from the Congress party now. Mahima, once again, the question that is being raised, and we've spoken to people who have served in the CRPF, we've spoken to people who've been protectees of SPG protectees in the past, and everybody is saying that, you know, it's not right for you to keep maligning these forces that protect you when you yourself don't follow protocols, and Rahul Gandhi is a history sheeter in that.
Good evening. Shivani, I have been traveling with the Yatra. We have come all the way along from Kanyakumari to Delhi. And why has what has happened here not happened in any other state? It has, you know, and nowhere. If that was the case, that would have happened in any other state also. Why has it happened specifically in Delhi? It has happened specifically in Delhi because the Bharatiya Janata Party has been absolutely, you know, initially they have tried whatever they could to actually malign. We are not maligning CRPF or any security forces. It is the Bharatiya Janata Party that wants a Congress-free Bharat. That's something everybody knows about. And so they if they could not fight this initiative of the Congress Party, if they could not, mock at this initiative of the Congress Party, finally, they have come to this.
No, but what are you alleging? Mahima, you are going even one step to what K.C. Venugopal has alleged so far. You are now insinuating that this has been done deliberately to put Rahul Gandhi's safety in jeopardy?
Is this an official statement of the Congress?
I'm not insinuating anything. I am not insinuating anything. Rather, I am just saying that, you know, why has it happened specifically in Delhi?
So your allegation is it has happened in Delhi because Delhi police comes under the MHA, so there is some political reason behind it, right?
I am just saying what has happened. I'm just speaking aloud, what goes on in the mind of an average Bharat Yatri, an average citizen who's watching this entire scenario. There were intrusions on the campsite, in the containers. We held a press conference yesterday about it. So I'm just wondering, you know, as a common Indian, as a common Bharat Yatri, that what is this all about? Because across...
Are you alleging, no, let's be clear, Mahima, are you alleging that the CRPF, under political duress or whatever, did not do its job? Please be clear about it. Are you alleging that the Delhi police did not do its job deliberately?
It was not CRPF that was intruding in the containers on the campsite. It was not CRPF. We are not alleging anything like that.
But this breach is under CRPF. No, let's stick to this breach first. I'll come to the container IB theory later. 1 second. No, Mahima, this is very serious. This breach that you have highlighted and the footage of which has been released by the Congress party, this is under CRPF protection. I spoke to a high-profile protectee earlier. He said Delhi police will be external protection. This perimeter is CRPF perimeter. Are you saying they deliberately allowed the perimeter to be breached?
Shivani, I am not the person who's answerable here. It is the Bharatiya Janata Party. It's the government that was meant to...
Welcome back. We're bringing you a big CNN News 18 investigation. Behind Bihar's chemist counters are imposters posing as pharmacists. They're completely unqualified and unverified for the job, yet they're the ones selling potentially dangerous drugs to unsuspecting public. My colleague Kumar Saurabh with this exclusive report.
They can be found on every street, stocked with life-saving drugs. But what if the person behind the counter is completely unqualified for the job and is selling you medicines willy-nilly? A diploma in pharmacy or a bachelor of pharmacy is a basic qualification for a practicing pharmacist. But in Bihar, those rules go for a toss and fake pharmacists rule the roost. In the government-run New Gardiner Hospital in Patna, we found 2 uncertified pharmacists operating on behalf of the registered pharmacist whose certificate is proudly displayed on the wall.
कितने का है ये? ये कै रुपये का 7 रुपये का होगा।
इधर मिल जाएगा ना।
ये है आपका 40 रुपये।
मेरा है ना।
तो आप क्या उनके भाई भाई हैं क्या?
लीजिए।
भैया हम 5 साल से इस लाइन में काम कर रहे हैं। अच्छा, कुछ तो नॉलेज है एकदम एक्सपीरियंस पे, जैसे कंपाउंडर डॉक्टर बन जाता है वैसे ही
पटना के कोनो कोना के दवाई की हमने समझ लेंगे कि क्या हटे।
तो इसका क्या नाम है फार्मेसी जो है?
एक कप ना खाना इसको।
क्या हुआ ये बने ना वहाँ से।
क्या नाम?
अमित नाम होगा।
हैं?
अमित दे रहे हैं पूजा
अमित। दो है क्या इसमें? दो फार्मासिस्ट है?
नहीं, फार्मासिस्ट है, मालिक है, ओनर है।
At the private Ruban Women and Child Hospital in Patna, the pharmacist had registered in Uttar Pradesh but is practicing illegally in Bihar.
कॉलेज से है, वो कॉलेज आपको पूरा डिग्री देगा। वो डिग्री लेके उसके बाद उसमें कुछ और 3 महीने का आपको एक्सपीरियंस सर्टिफिकेट लेना होगा।
ठीक है।
ठीक है, उसको बोलते हैं क्या नाम है,
इंटर्नशिप जो होता है।
इंटर्नशिप।
हाँ
ठीक है, इंटर्नशिप 3 महीने का होता है। 3 महीने का इंटर्नशिप कर लिए, उसके बाद ये कुछ डॉक्यूमेंट्स और भी हैं।
उसके बाद ये सब डॉक्यूमेंट वगैरह ये सब इंटर्नशिप वगैरह करके
उसके बाद अपना ऑनलाइन रजिस्ट्रेशन होता है। हम लोग को यूपी में हो गया ऑनलाइन।
अच्छा,
टोटल आप ऑनलाइन रजिस्ट्रेशन कर दिए।
हाँ।
ऑनलाइन रजिस्ट्रेशन करेंगे तो आपको कोई भी फॉर्म भरते हैं तो आईडी पासवर्ड सबसे पहले होता है ना। आईडी पासवर्ड बन गया, उसके बाद रजिस्ट्रेशन आप सक्सेसफुल हो गया, रसीद आपको मिल जाएगा।
वो फार्मेसी काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया से होता है रजिस्ट्रेशन।
हाँ
ठीक है,
तो उसका रसीद मिल गया। उसके बाद अपने वेबसाइट पर कोई भी खोल के चेक कर सकते हैं कि आपका कहाँ तक प्रोसेस हुआ है। यूपी में ही हो गया चुका है।
अच्छा,
जहाँ तक हम लोग का टोटल ऑनलाइन ही हुआ है।
तो आप यूपी में थे तो आप बिहार में प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं, ऐसा है?
बिहार में
मतलब जिस स्टेट
है ना।
हाँ।
तो यहाँ पे हम अपना डिग्री नहीं दिए हैं, क्यों नहीं दे पाएंगे, क्योंकि बिहार में हमको ट्रांसफ़र कराना पड़ेगा।
अच्छा, मतलब कि आप जैसे जहाँ का रजिस्ट्रेशन होता है आप वहीं पे प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं।
हो चुका है,
तो आप यूपी में ही ऐसे लीगली अगर आप देखा
चलाना चाहते हैं, कुछ करना चाहते हैं तो यूपी में ही करेंगे।
In this hospital in Bhagalpur, the pharmacist's brother is dispensing medicines without even asking for a prescription.
हॉस्पिटल में आए हो क्या?
हाँ, कुछ पूछना था। बुलाइए ना फार्मेसी हैं, उनको बुलाइए ना, जानते होंगे दवाई ववाई के बारे में।
हाँ, बताओ ना क्या चीज़ पूछना है।
वाइफ प्रेग्नेंट है, उसको बीपी का थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम होता है।
बीपी के लिए तो डॉक्टर ही कंसल्ट करेंगे प्रेगनेंसी में। वैसे तो इसमें बीपी के लिए एक ही टैबलेट तो एक ही आता है, ऐसे नहीं दे सकते। डॉक्टर ही एडवाइस करेगा, फिर जब ही ले।
फेक फार्मासिस्ट where he said that
a student studying to be a pharmacist is running this pharmacy in a hospital in Begusarai, and what he revealed was shocking.
फार्मासिस्ट आप हो कि कोई और है? हमको कुछ पूछना था। बताइए। हम कह रहे कि आप ही हैं, हमको छोटा भाई का करवाना था एडमिशन फार्मी में, बी फार्मा में।
तो कहाँ करवाना है, मतलब बिहार से कि अदर स्टेट से?
बिहार से।
हाँ,
बिहार से।
बिहार से देख लीजिएगा सेशन वगैरह कॉलेज।
हाँ,
सेशन अगर देख लीजिए, सेशन डेट तो नहीं है, चाहे कॉलेज को हम किससे।
आप किए हैं?
हमारा अभी अपेयरिंग चल रहा
है। कहाँ से कर?
यहीं से कर रहे हैं, यमुना इंस्टीट्यूट।
अच्छा, इसमें क्या लाइसेंस भी लेना होता है क्या? जैसे
लाइसेंस
बार काउंसिल से जैसे लाइसेंस लेते हो, इसमें भी लेना होता है? तो सबको दे देता है लाइसेंस?
हाँ, सबको दे देगा। डी फार्मा भी मिल जाएगा, डी फार्मा भी मिल जाएगा।
उसमें जुगाड़ होता है कुछ? अब मान लो अगर
किसी का डिग्री लेकर खोल सकते हैं।
हाँ,
किसी का भी डिग्री लेकर खोल सकते हैं।
किसी का डिग्री लेकर मतलब
हम भी फार्मा है तो हमारा भी डिग्री लेकर वहीं भी आप चला सकते हैं।
तो वहाँ फार्मासिस्ट का जरूरत नहीं पड़ता है?
अब डिग्री रखा हुआ है तो फार्मासिस्ट का क्या मतलब मान्य हो जाएगा? वो डिग्री दिख रहा है, महिला के नाम से दिख रहा है, चला हम रहे।
महिला के नाम से है
तो क्या दिख रहा है? महिला को नहीं दिख रहा है ऊपर कोना में।
The student also claimed that out of the 2,000 odd chemist shops in Begusarai, barely 100 have registered pharmacists. Last month, the Supreme Court had pulled up the Bihar government, saying it can't play with the lives of people. The court had taken note of a PIL alleging that fake pharmacists are running hospitals and medical stores in Bihar.
फार्मासिस्ट हूँ, और जो मैंने देखा कि हर जगह फर्जी फेक फार्मासिस्ट रन कर रहे हैं, तो ये मेरा कर्तव्य बनता है। और इंडियन फार्मास्यूटिकल एसोसिएशन IPA से जुड़ा हुआ हूँ, वो एशिया की सबसे बड़ी संस्था है, तो मेरा कर्तव्य बनता था कि ये इसको उजागर करें। ऐसे हमने कोशिश किया था, हर जगह निवेदन आवेदन वगैरह किया, सफल नहीं हुए, तो उसके बाद न्यायालय की शरण में जाना पड़ा।
Despite a rap from the apex court, authorities in Bihar continue to drag their feet on this menace.
ये सिंपल सी बात है कि कोई भी विभाग में जो मीडिया को देगा वो ज्वाइंट सेक्रेटरी से नीचे लेवल का नहीं दे सकता, तो फिर हम लोग क्यों इसमें पढ़ रहे?
But one of the hospitals that we exposed promised immediate action.
If it is there, I will naturally, I will be inquired all the things. Okay. And I will do every needful things you just certainly.
We did some ground reality checks in different government and private hospitals as well as medical stores, and we found that there were pharmacists who had no degree at all, or there were no registrations, but they were dispensing medicines to the people. Now it is to be seen what actions are being taken by the state and the Bihar State Pharmacy Council to curb this Farji Raj in the state. After all, it concerns the health and life of common citizens of India. With camera person Shaibu Balam, this is Saurabh reporting for CNN News 18 from Patna.
We have taken decision to clear this interim report of the Backward Classes Commission in Karnataka. We have, in principle, we have accepted the report of the Backward Classes Commission.
It is not very clear. They're just trying to give us a carrot at the time of the election. We know, as per the Supreme Court judgment, there are a lot of issues and confusion. All communities have been demanding for as per their population.
Hello and welcome to News Epicenter with me, Ayushman Singh Jamwal. Our top story is the political firestorm that has erupted in the state of Karnataka, ladies and gentlemen, where a big move by the Bommai government coming right ahead of the elections. The BJP government has given in to the pressure of the Vokaliga and the Lingayats and has boosted their quota status. Karnataka's Home Minister has said that the quota for both communities will be balanced with the quota for the economically weaker sections, and 2 new categories will be created for them. This is the pitch coming in from the state government. Now, politics, as I was saying, has erupted over the move. Congress and the JDS have called it a